Well, welcome. What I'd like to do in this short video is, let me set the alarm so I have the time. I want to keep it to 10 minutes. I want to introduce my family's relationship to genocide, how I come to this topic. And I wanted to start with family routine. Right now, this is the New Year's coming. It'll be in September, and it'll be the year 5781. We're the oldest calendar on the planet. And the month before, we blow this to tell everybody that the New Year's coming, and it goes like this. It gets better. You know, I just started blowing it. It's the oldest instrument. You can understand that. Human beings, Homo sapiens, when they just came out of the trees, you know, this is something that they could figure out. Oh, you know, you could do this, and you could use it to communicate over long distances. It was the first cell phone. Great package. I mean, no monthly fees, no batteries, it never goes bad. And here we are 5,000 years later, and it's still perfectly good. I mean, you know, it's really, never gotten a bill from Verizon for it. So start off in, you know, the area. Today it's called Israel, but back in the day it was called Canaan. And all the people who lived in Canaan 4,000 years ago were Canaanites. And the Hebrews were one tribe. Think of Indian tribes. They were all related. They all spoke the same Canaanite language. Hebrew is a Canaanite language. And even then, there was a conflict between the Hebrews and the Amalekites. So the Hebrews and the Amalekites were enemies. And this is all in the Bible. You can see this, that God commands the Jews to remember what Amalek did to you when you were coming out of Egypt, and to not to forget that it's your responsibility to exterminate them, wipe them out, so that the name Amalek, the Amalekite people, Amalek will be forgotten. Nobody will ever, you won't be able to point to a donkey and say that was an Amalekite donkey. The command was to exterminate them. So in the Bible, we already see genocidal commands. The Israelites managed to live for 2,000 years before Christianity in what became Palestine when the Romans took it over in the Second Temple days. And now we're talking about the time of Jesus, you know, when he was in the temple throwing out the moneylenders. In 66, there was a big rebellion, and the Romans crushed it. They came to Jerusalem, they destroyed the temple, they destroyed the city, they exiled all the Jews. And my family they went to North Africa, which is, you know, if you look at the map, it's a likely place, easy place to go. And they lived in North Africa, actually, for centuries. When they migrated from North Africa into the Iberian Peninsula, you know, that right above Africa, Spain is right above Africa, and they went into what is today Spain. At that time, it was Al-Andalus, and it was controlled by Muslims. Pretty nice place to live. We spent a number of centuries there too. Arrived around the 10th century, and were there until sometime in the 15th century. 1492 was the Spanish Inquisition. That's when my family was given the choice between converting to Catholicism, leave all your property behind, just get the hell out, or we'll torture and murder you. Well, converted to Christianity didn't seem like a very appealing idea. Torture and murder certainly didn't seem good. So we took the least of the, and we left. And the family, the Kimkis, that was their name, Kimki, which was an ancient Hebrew name, and it means flour, or someone who mills flour and makes bread. And they left Spain and they moved to what is today Germany, Rhineland, Germany. And the first record of the name Mehler appears in 1542 in the family records in Bingen am Rhein. There was a Judah Mehler who was the first Mehler we find in the records. The Mehlers are actually Kimki Mehlers. They were hyphenated. And from the Rhineland, from Germany, you see they went from Spain to Germany, and from Germany across Europe east, because back in the day, if you came to the United States, if you came to America in the colonial days, and you want to know, well, where is the best opportunity? Where can I really make it from nothing to rich? You say, well, go west, young man, go west, because that's where all the opportunity is. In Europe, it was the same thing. Some go east, you go east. And so my family ended up, the Kimkis ended up in a place called Bukovina, which was the very edge of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. I actually have a little map I could show you. Let me share my screen. Okay, so share the screen. I come here. Here's my map. And I loaded this stuff up, including the talk. I realize that I'm not giving a talk. Okay, so here, this is Ukraine. Can I zoom this in so you can see it? Yeah. Okay. So this is Ukraine and this is Romania, and here's Bukovina. It's between Ukraine and Romania, and Germany is to the west. Let me just go back here now. All right. So my grandfather left Bukovina and came to the United States in 1901. He traveled all across Europe to Hamburg, Germany, got a steamer, and came to New York in 1901. He brought his wife over. He was born in the 1870s. He brought his wife over, Rachel Mehler. Now, I want you to understand that my family in Bukovina, thousands of Mehlers. It was like a big tribe. Think Indian tribe, big tribe. And everybody in the tribe is related. So my grandmother, Rachel Mehler, and my grandfather, Leib Mehler, were first cousins, because back in the day, close family ties remain close. That is, you married what we would call today incestuous marriage. Then it was really common. You didn't marry your brother or your sister or your mother or your father. God forbid, that was forbidden. But to marry a first cousin, that's perfect. That's a Mehler marrying a Mehler. So it was a good thing that my grandfather came to New York in 1901, because between 1941 and 1944, all of the Mehlers that were left in Bukovina were exterminated, wiped out, just like the Mehlers who didn't make it out of Spain were exterminated, wiped out. What you had was, there was a Max Kimki Mehler. He survived and was living, he got to Israel. There was another Mehler family that got to Paris, France. And then there was my grandfather who got to New York, and another Mehler who got to St. Louis. 1%, less than 1% of my family survived the genocide. So that even though I wasn't really there, I wasn't a child survivor. I am, in a way, a survivor. There, but for fortune, I would not be here today being able to teach this course. So that's how I come initially to relate to genocide. I'm going to leave it there. This is just a short intro video. And there's my thing there. There we go.